Geoff Keighley. Big companies have to treat their developers right. The Summer Game Fest host weighed in on the current video game industry meltdown. The host of E3 replacement Summer Game Fest, Geoff Keighley, kicked off the showcase's fourth year by doing what many have called on the veteran industry inside to do for months. Used his biggest platform to acknowledge the current state of mass layoffs, cuts, and cancellations at some of gaming's biggest publishers and studios. I know if you watch this show, you don't just play games. You deeply care about this art form and the health of this industry. Keighley, who also um, helms the Game Awards every year, said on the stage of the YouTube Theater on June 7th as the showcase got underway. The good news is we have a lot of amazing games to show you from creators around the world over the next 2 hours. But let's face it, this has been a difficult and tumultuous year with company layoffs and studio closures that has disappointed all of us. The remark built on sparring tweets the face of video game hype and made on the subject back in March 2024 has always seen over 10,000 layoffs in the video game industry in the first 6 months, the same as the total for all of last year. Almost every other week, a new indie or well-known studio has cut staff or shut down completely. That's included hundreds of layoffs across Activision Blizzard and Bethesda, including the shocking stuttering of Arcane Austin and hi-fi rush maker Tango Gameworks. Sony also shut down London studio and cut hundreds of developers. A billboard in Los Angeles for Summer Game Fest is currently memorializing some of the game's teams that are no more. Keighley, who has long attempted to steer clear of taking a stance on controversial topics, didn't castigate any of the executive teams behind these decisions. Instead, he tried to strike a more positive note, putting up a list of 2024 breakout hits like Power World and Balatro that found success and big audiences outside the standard AAA publishing models. I got inspired that new ideas, new teams, and smaller creators can and will break through. It's a reminder to big companies they have to treat their developers right, because today there are money paths to sustainability and success, and that's what makes this industry so great, Keighley said. The host then immediately pivoted back to hawking his upcoming world premiere for the showcase, which he stressed would be coming from big teams and solo developers alike, even as there's been some criticism about the hundreds of thousands of thousands it cost many studios to get their game trailers aired during the event. He said some solo creators were invited to show their games in the event because we think this platform is important as a way to show you new things that you might not even know about. The first world premiere that had been proceeded to start the event proper was for Lego Horizon Adventure, co-developed by Guerrilla Games, one of the Sony studios that suffered several layoffs earlier this year. So, what do you think about Geoff Keighley basically taking this stance?
I'm very surprised that he's of all people he's doing that. He's standing up for developers. Usually, when I see Geoff Keighley, I don't think he's a super bad guy or whatever. I'm just saying the fact that he's something. I never heard the guy told he started doing the Game Awards show back 10 years ago.
Oh, really?
And then prior to that,
wow.
Yeah, I didn't hear of him until after the fact, until after he started his own Game Awards show, when Spike TV kind of canceled the regular Game Awards show through their TV network. Yeah, so it's kind of like, what he's trying to do is he's trying to make it believe like Hollywood style type of entertainment. That's what I've been hearing for the last several years now. Not years, but a couple of years now, where him and other people involved with the matter trying to make videos like the next movies or the next TV or shows or whatever, like the Emmy Awards show or the Oscar stuff like that. All well and good to some extent, but for gamers, for us people playing games, not the other way around where it's like these actors and actresses are like taking all the spotlight on not the developers. It's something like that. But Geoff Keighley's now finally trying to help out the developers themselves. So I guess you're saying that he's making a good smart moves now. Instead of trying to be the next Tom Cruise of Hollywood for these Summerfest trailers and all. It's whatever. Some degree on my end as a gamer, but the average gamer is going to be looking at this. It's like, okay, well, are you trying to take over the industry or what? Because that's what's going on for years now with all the Sweet Baby Inc. stuff and social justice and LGBT, you name it. So, if Geoff Keighley can say something about that, that'd be great too.
Yeah, yeah. I've known Geoff. I've heard of Geoff Keighley. I've known of him since he did Gamehead on Spike TV. That would become game trailers. That would they had one episode they would always cut out for the they would replace for the Game Awards back in June, if I remember correctly. Um, so yeah, I've known of Geoff Keighley for a long time. I found him to be an entertaining guy. I like his show Gamehead. So yeah, but I am surprised. He does seem to not be a confrontational guy, which is fine. But that makes it all the more surprising that he's standing up for it and saying what everyone has been thinking. As far as treatment for developers goes.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, so I'm surprised he said it, but I fully support him. And like I said, I've always liked Geoff Keighley, so I don't get what people hate about him. Um, he just seems like a good guy that does love video games. So
Well,
maybe
from what
that's
I if I can say this though, from what I hear about Jeffrey Keely, he likes to appeal towards the Hollywood side of the entertainment, all the games, whatever, the movies, like I mentioned earlier. So that's why, for the last couple of years, at least a good couple of years now.
I don't know. I mean, like I said, I just it's like I said, I like him. I think I like I think he's a great host for video game events. Yeah, so like I said, I like Geoff Keighley, and I don't think there's anything wrong with him. And I do think he's
Okay.
a great host for any presentation to do with video games.
I see. Okay.